I'm Hayden. Some of you may also know me as Awesome Dog 3.0. For the past 3 years, I've done my best to operate and run my 2 YouTube channels, my brick film channel, ALV Studios, and my gaming channel, appropriately named Awesome Dog 3.0. Within that 3 years, I've learned a lot and have come to not only understand more about the work I do, but also grown in my love for it even more. From a young age, when I was first on and behind a camera, I'd always had a fascination with the idea of capturing in the moments with recordings, moments, and being able to share those videos with others, as well as have these memories saved in a visual form. I also grew up loving movies and television, storytelling and animation. I would craft my own stories in my head and tell them to myself, playing them in my head like an actual film. Sometimes I'd even share them with others, and I still do to this day. Needless to say, I've always had an active and creative imagination. Combine that with my natural abilities and desires to make people laugh and brighten up the day, sprinkle in my obsession with Lego and my love for video games, and what do you get? I don't know. I was never 100% sure what I wanted to be when I grew up. I'd often think, what could God possibly have that could house all of these, sometimes not even connecting different attributes and things about myself? How could he possibly use these things, use me? And he'd show me quite a few different options of what I could do, but there was always the one that stuck out above the rest. One that just sort of popped inside of me the moment I first entered a little website known as YouTube.com. A place where people can share videos they took and stories they crafted? Yes please. And once I found out brick film and gaming content were a thing, I was hooked. A few years later, and I think we can all see where I ended up. And for the past 3 years, I've been doing exactly what I wanted to do, what I know I've been called to do. Sometimes even having my friends, my family, my loved ones come along for the ride, and I have enjoyed every moment of it, even if some moments were harder than others. Looking back, there's not a thing I would have changed. It's been incredible, and I hope to keep doing it for many years to come. So why in the world am I making this video? Basically, I've let things get out of hand. I've let things become what they shouldn't. This video was originally going to be an announcement video, talking about the new big tool to help us grow the channels. But after looking at everything and taking some time to think, I felt like this was God saying that this was where I needed to take a step back and hit the reset button. Not literally, don't worry. We're not making a humongous, kind of humongous change. I'll get there in a moment. And I feel like I need to share this with you guys, as this would help bring the biggest relief. I've always needed someone to talk to about my feelings and just personal things, that I just need to get off my chest. And since this whole thing, what we're doing right now concerns the channels and in turn the viewers, I feel like you guys are the appropriate people to talk to in this situation. So what I plan to do in this video is explain a few of the struggles and issues I've been having as of late, how I plan to change things moving forward, and sharing with you guys some of the exciting things that will be coming with those changes, as well as maybe sharing just a few little life updates as well, just what's been going on lately. I did make sure to write out a few things, just how I was feeling about certain things. So I may bring in this paper and just read from it, just so I can get all my thoughts out and share everything that I have been, wanting to say, everything I think I need to say that best explains and describes everything that's going on. So if I pull these out, and I'm looking at these most of the time, if I need to, just know it's so we can get through this easier and I can get all of these thoughts out. And I know that sometimes these kind of things, these kind of sit down and talk kind of videos, especially when later on the video is going to be more exciting stuff, and be like, oh, so boring. And I know I'm not trying to make this boring. I hope I'm not. I know it's probably not a smart thing to say that, but I am just trying to, make this to where y'all know that I'm not trying to bring anyone down or just throw all my stuff, dump all this on y'all, but as I've said, this kind of does concern the channels and in terms what you guys will mostly be seeing, you know, the audience. So it's probably a good idea if you guys know these things. And to a certain degree, I'm going to talk about some stuff that I might need your guys' help with. We'll get into it as we begin discussing these topics that I wanted to bring up, starting with number one. This is where our trusty papers are gonna come in handy, because I got, oh boy, do I got a lot. Number one, personal issue. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the way, the most upfront one out of the way. I'm not happy about it, I'm not proud of it, but in a lot of areas of my life, I've allowed myself to become a very lazy person. And that is drastically affecting a lot of things on the channel, as well as with myself. I've put off editing and filming and doing so many things, thinking I'll just do it later, and ultimately they never get done, and I just end up disappointing myself and leaving you guys with nothing. This has affected a lot of projects, actually, believe it or not. Needless to say, this is a big personal aspect in my life that at this point I'm finally just fed up with it, and I realize that if I don't start tackling this now, it's only going to get worse from here on out in so many aspects of my life and these channels. And this doesn't affect me just as a content creator, but also as a Christian, as it is told to us in the Bible that we are not to be lazy, but we are to be diligent, hardworking people in all we do. And while I know that this is obviously something that I need to tackle personally through Christ alone, I would appreciate it if you guys would just keep me in your prayers in regards to this, as I every day have to struggle with this and fight against it. From now on, I'm gonna try to not let this take me from doing not only what I need to do, but also what I want to do. So if I miss an upload date from now on, it's going to be because of an emergency, some family business, personal business that takes priority, or some other actually excusable reason for not uploading, and I will let you guys know that I will not be uploading because of something like that. I probably obviously won't tell you guys what it is, as you know, it kind of personal, but I will let you guys know. But this has to stop. If I, as a Christian, as a content creator, and us as a community are ever gonna grow, and I need to make this a priority. So from now on, no more putting anything off. I'm going to do my best to be diligent in everything and just get this stuff done. Fun fact, you guys are technically watching the second attempt of filming all this, and I could have done it sooner. Yeah, this is a problem. But I am sorry if this has affected any of you guys, just as the Awesome Dog community, and I'm stopping it right here. And it already has affected quite a few different things in regards to the gaming channel already, as I have dozens of projects that have already been filmed or half filmed that are waiting to be edited, and they have just been sitting in save files for weeks, even months. For example, did you know that I actually did film Bee Swarm Simulator 2? Half of 6 new different Contest of Champions videos? Pokemon Go videos with community days long past? Yeah, of course you did. Now you know why. Like, I haven't even finished filming some of these. Oh goodness. And this has also affected a lot of projects that I have wanted to do and have not started, or have barely started. Pokemon Go 30, the big 30 celebration, the long-awaited Ice Cream Part 3, multiple brick films with multiple new characters that I wanted to do for months. I know it feels like I'm rambling on about this point at this part, but I just really want to hit it home, mainly just for my sake, that I know I really understand if I have to go back and watch this, that this laziness problem does actually severely affect things, and that's not good. But I'm gonna work on this, and you know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna promise you this. Every single one of those projects that I mentioned, and a few I didn't, I promise I'm gonna finish before the end of the year. Even if upload wise it may still take a few weeks to actually get all these things edited and finished and thrown out there, I promise you by the end of 2023 all of those will be out there. Minus maybe 1 or 2 brick films, because even if I've wanted to start them, some of them I will take more time, although they could have still been out by the end of this year had I just been diligent. But I'm gonna try my best to stop that. Okay, and now we come to probably, at least in the terms of probably the severity of the situation, as well as taking up most of the most of the spaces on these papers, we come to the topic where I have to make a very, very necessary and big new move slash announcements. Now, as you guys probably know, I love telling stories. Clearly, as AOV Studios is basically built on that premise. And after seeing a couple different YouTubers do similar things and getting inspired to try it myself, I had the crazy idea to try and craft a story that would take place on the gaming channel. And that is exactly what I did. Now, when I started this whole thing, I had 3 goals in mind. Make it as real and inclusive as possible, tell a good story, run it as long as the channels lasted. And by the grace of God, I had accomplished that. However, I think I might have accomplished the first one a little too well. And this is where I might have to actually start reading most of this page. Can you two separate, please? Thank you. Now, I'm the kind of guy who doesn't like easily messing around with the well-structured, well-flowing story. And I am a huge continuity keeper as to try to make all my stories feel as real and lively and enjoyable as possible. But in doing so, in trying to forge it into everything else in the channel, make everything flow with it, I have made a huge mistake, and it has negatively affected the channel as well as myself. And it wasn't until I was talking about sharing this with you guys, with some of my friends who have helped me with this project, that finally the Lord showed me exactly what I had done while I was getting all my thoughts out, explaining the situation to them. And he finally showed me what the issue was. And I almost actually couldn't believe I had done this. I've tried to make this story match so much with my real life that, while obviously not literally, if you know the story, it has become my life. I've tried to tie so much to the stories in universe timing, my videos, my life, everything, to where it has become my driving force for everything. Whether I see it or not, it's the thing basically dictating all of my decisions. And here's the real scary part. This was the moment that I really realized that something needed to change. If as a Christian, Christ is to be my life, and this story and a lot of other things in regards to these channels, pretty much just about everything. Yeah, I'm not gonna be ashamed to say it. Yeah, pretty much everything in regards to all of this. But the story, the biggest part of it, if all of that is what's dictating my decisions, running everything I do, if that is my life, where am I putting Christ? Yeah, just think about that for a moment. It was then I realized that I knew what I had to do. I immediately just went to prayer. I asked for forgiveness and for the Lord to help me to get out of this. And I knew I had to finally separate myself from fantasy. I had to get out of my own little fantasies. I had to just step back and just set myself focused on what I need to be focused on. These things aren't inherently evil, and I still very much believe that this is what the Lord has called me to do. But if they start taking place first and foremost in my heart over Him, my life, then there is a problem, and I need to get myself right. I need to get everything, back square one on the right track. So now, for the sake of my spiritual walk and my my sanity, and also for the betterment of these channels, because this, I believe, will also greatly positively affect these channels, I am doing it here and now. I'm finally doing it. From now on, the channel storyline will be completely separate from everything else we do on the channel. I'm breaking the fourth wall, so to speak, right now. I'm gonna say it, it's over. It's not over in the sense that we're completely stopping everything, but from here on out, every storyline that I have on this channel will no longer be infused with everything else we do, and will be treated as a story series, as it is rightfully a story series. My face is like slightly vibrating, mostly my teeth after doing that. Yeah. Now, obviously, for fans of the series, that you know what I'm talking about, this may raise a couple eyebrows, and obviously, panic a few of you maybe, because praise the Lord, these series I've put out have been, tremendously well received and have been given a lot of positive feedback. I know there's a lot of fans out there of these series, so I know you're probably maybe a little jittery, like, what does this mean? I'm gonna put you guys at ease, okay? So let's just go ahead and do that. So let me go ahead and just start with telling you what this doesn't mean. This doesn't mean we're changing any direction that the story has been going in. Nothing's majorly changing. It's still going to be the same story. I'm still sticking with how I've been steering the stories, and I know that obviously this change is being made for the necessity of my spiritual walk with Christ, and in a lot of ways the benefit of the channels, but that doesn't mean that we're completely changing everything. The plan is still the same for what we got going forward. What I mean is, it will no longer flow with everything else that comes out on the channel, unless it is explicitly shown to be connected, being shared in that universe. It ain't happening, Chief. It ain't connected. So what I'm thinking is, if you have seen the whole connected series, is the major story up to this point, I'm going to give you a definitive timeline of where we're following up to the certain point and then splitting. So everything that happens on the channel up to the end of An Electrifying Adventure still happened somewhat in that order. I say somewhat in the sense of, as I was first doing that first series, obviously I had other things other than Pokemon Go coming out on the channel, and trying to fit that in. Okay, well, where were these uploaded around that same time as he was doing this? And I tried my best to operate like that, but for the sake of just everything, we're gonna keep it simple and just say, not think about it too hard. Everything that happened in that world with the channel and in real life up to the end of that point, just completely the same. Here's where things start to split off. From that point on, and beginning with the start of Uncertain Horizons #1, everything that happens in that universe, because obviously the next big question is, well, it's established as a part of this universe is Hayden's character. He still runs these channels. What's going to happen to them? It's been established and will be reestablished time and time again that Hayden still runs those channels, but he will not be running them the same way he does in our world, our real world right now, the one you and me, the viewers, are in right now. So what's going to happen is, at the beginning of Uncertain Horizons, everything that happens at that point onward, everything that he does in universe Hayden does with his channel will not mirror everything that we do with the channel in real life going forward. Maybe there will be once in a while a certain thing that the both universes share, like maybe with Hayden continuing Superliminal, he does it the exact same way as in universe or real life Hayden does. Oh boy, maybe this is worse than I thought. But to give you some examples of what I really mean, in universe Hayden maybe decided not to continue with the Angry Birds 2 series, while IRL Hayden did. Maybe in-universe Hayden decided to pick up some Subnautica, the game Subnautica. If you've heard of that game, pretty good game. Might play it one day, but maybe he decided to pick it up earlier. And instead of Isaac for Lego Marvel Superheroes 3, Marbles, yep, that's it. Lego Marbles, definitely a game that exists. But instead of him bringing in Isaac to play with him, maybe he chose Grayson, while IRL Hayden decided he's gonna wait on Subnautica, and Grayson wasn't picked, and Isaac was. Maybe in-universe Hayden had an ALV video planned with Spider-Man Noir and Bane, while IRL Hayden has a story for Reverse Flash and the Hulk. Just as some examples. So going forward, the story, I'm not completely shifting everything, screwing up every continuity, but for the sake of so many things, that universe will no longer mirror the rest of the channel, and honestly, I think this is a good thing. Not only is it a huge, burst of freedom for me to not have to be confined to doing so many things on this channel at a certain time perfectly to line up, I'm finally free to do more content, and obviously I'm more free to not have to be so obsessed with this. And yes, I did this to myself, honestly, but it just frees me up to do so many more things in my normal life, not having to worry about sticking with that, lining up my real life with that. That's essentially what I'm doing. That is not healthy. But not only does it allow, freedom in those regards, but, well, I guess I technically touched on one of them already. It allows us more freedom. And with not tying everything to that story, it allows me to do more content separate from that, allowing me to do that story, but also do more things that I'd have to wait on for so long. I can just do more stuff on the side. Like I can just do that and just let in-universe Hayden do his stuff, okay? And it also, I think, one of the biggest things was, since I wanted this to be so inclusive, like feel like real life, which honestly, I feel like I can still do that without actually having to fit real life into this fantasy world. But I was so confined with trying to make it feel like that now that it's being separate, I can loosen up a bit. And this would allow me to promote it as an actual series and help this storyline grow, honestly, and reach new people. And honestly, I think with the response that we've gotten from this series so far and the amazing start to the new one we started on Certain Horizons, personally, I think that's probably a smart move. Maybe once in a blue moon I could even share some behind the scenes with you guys, just you know. But that's essentially the situation in regards to that. It will no longer be, it's going to be treated as a series. It's still going to have the same direction. I'm still going to try to, obviously, I'm seeing you can make it feel real and engaging like that without having to actually restrict your life to it. And I think that's smart. And finally, I did want to take this opportunity to just kind of talk about a few more things, just a few slightly less personal kind of things that just I need to mention, since most of them are pretty much basic channel things, but seeing as how this whole thing has been secondarily largely about the channels, as most of it, the first and foremost has been just me kind of getting myself back on the right track. But since it also does cover a lot of that heavily, this is, important things that we need to discuss. Also, I might have to look at my notes a little more, because this is the only one of the 3 topics that I have basically no memory of what I wanted to talk about. Oh goodness. This is going way better though than the original take, honestly. So going forward, I'm really gonna try to refine these channels, really get them in the direction, going where I want them to go, making the kind of content that I want to make while also providing you guys with what you guys want to see. Just really, really refining the direction and the structure of these channels. Now, when I started these channels, I had a lot of things I wanted to do, but the biggest thing for both these channels that I wanted to do was provide engaging, entertaining, fun, while also safe and clean, family-friendly content that people can enjoy. And in a lot of ways, I feel like I've struggled to find a balance, right? What I mean is, I want these videos to appeal to all ages, like the family, whatever age, can sit down and just have fun, or anyone can sit down and just have fun, even if you don't have a family, rather you're a young kid or a 35-year-old dude. I don't know. I mean, whoever you are, hope you're enjoying. And that was my hope, right? Like that's what I've hoped for, is to appeal to everyone. And I think I've been struggling to find the balance between, being, safe and, entertaining for younger audiences, while also being able to appeal to, older folk, like teens or young adults, or, also being safe for kiddies, And in a lot of ways, I also feel like I've let this, like a lot of these things, honestly, looking back, all of this, it's kind of mostly just been me obsessing over a lot of this. Obviously, there's some good points that don't necessarily fully revolve around my obsession to something, but yeah, looking back, there's a lot of obsessiveness in these issues. Oh goodness. But that said, I've been so obsessive with trying to find this balance that I feel like, to a certain degree, I have limited greatly and restrained myself as a creator, as a content creator. Now, going forward, I'm going to be talking about this, but let's just get this out of the way. Going forward, I'm still going to do my best to be that family friendly, clean, fun, engaging, entertaining kind of channel. But I feel like going forward, I'm going to be a little less obsessive with, every single little aspect, what I do, how I do it. And while obviously I want to do and say first and foremost what is pleasing and honoring in the sight of the Lord, obviously I always want to be an example of Christ, as all Christians should. So keep that in mind when I say what I'm about to say, because I'm not like trying to deny that aspect. But in a lot of ways, certain places, I feel like I haven't been myself. I've really kind of contained and restricted a lot of my personality, right? And my, what I want to do and how I want to do it. What I'm trying to say is, I want to make sure that, because there have been times when I've watched back a certain something and I've been like, I don't think that was me, right? I don't think that was me. And I want to make sure that when I look back, if I'm editing a video, watching a clip, I want to know that wasn't just some random person, right? You're not watching, Sidewalk Joe, or you're not watching some other guy, right? Or just some random person, or even, feel like some other YouTuber, like Preston, or Box Office Artist, or Dude Perfect, or Lastic and Rye. I want to make sure that when someone watches my videos, they see Hayden. They see John Hayden Snyder just being John Hayden Snyder. That's more so what I mean in this sense. Like, making sure that I'm not trying to be someone else, like another person. And all that to say, I know that was probably, here I'm trying to make this as clear as possible. I'm like completely going off script with these pages. Like, it took me like hours to write all this out, type all this out, and well, I'll just throw it to the wind. But going forward, I want to use these channels to express myself, actually just share my interests, just have fun, be able to, share my personality, my thoughts, my creative kind of, it's my creativity, and, just what, obviously, especially with, on a more statistical end of YouTube, yeah, so fun to talk about, but kind of necessary. I want to be able to make what you guys would enjoy, the audience, make sure that what you guys are watching is entertaining for you. But I don't want to sound like selfish or self-centered when I say this. This is I'm trying my best to explain this. But first and foremost, obviously these channels are what I've been called to do, and I need to be doing them for the glory of God, as as Christ would. But secondly, these channels are kind of how I can really just open up and do what I want to do and share what I want to share, go on little adventures and invite you guys on the ride, along for the ride, So all that said, going forward, I'm going to be, obviously, I'm not going to stray from, trying to be the family friendly kind of content kind of guy I am, but, I'm thinking, going forward, going to be sharing a few more of my interests, and, just kind of making sure I'm trying to be, the most energetic, entertaining, and upfront kind of Hayden I can be. And that also kind of, affects the content that I'm gonna make. It's pretty much gonna be the same. The format is gonna be there. Gaming videos, brick film videos, but this would also I also have so much more I want to share, honestly. I know we got the whole storyline thing, but lately I've been wanting to tell more stories like that, like make little short films like that. For example, I know the trend's long past, but for a while I had the idea to with my friends, like a spoofy little, not like super duper, but kind of like horror short film. I wanted to do like a grimace shake short film. I know it sounds funny or like ridiculous, but like I wanted to do that. Or like I just recently had an idea. I don't know if I'll, for the sake of maybe I will or won't do it, I won't say too much, but I had another like short film idea. So I want to kind of make more of those kind of stories, and I want to be able to like share those. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but I tried a way back trying to start this thing for our channel, kind of like, I don't know why I tried to give an example, like I had nothing in my brain. I tried to do this thing with Wednesdays called Wacky Fun Wednesdays, where I post things kind of different from your typical like let's play kind of gaming content. Like I had the Contest of Champions battle arena thing, and I had a few other ideas. If you've seen my Pokemon Go drawing videos, I had an idea because I still love drawing, I still love doing that kind of art. I had an idea to do something like that, and I'd still love to do that, and just little things like that. And even in regards to like the brick film and gaming content, there are certain games that that I've been wanting to do for a while now. Obviously I will say there are certain games that haven't been done because for a reason you'll see later on this video, they actually weren't able to be done. But now that I am able to expand the gaming library, I want to do more like action packed adventure kind of games. I want to do like more goofy kind of little games, just have fun. And I'm gonna say it, now I know that this is definitely an area where I need to be the most careful, and I definitely will be. I'll definitely be making sure that I have that little awesome dog touch, just enough to keep it from going to where it maybe, could be a little too spoopy. But I'ma say it, I'm the kind of guy, I'm not like, super, dark and hail Satan kind of stuff, not like, super duper dark like that, but I'm a guy who likes a good horror story. I like spooky things. I like monsters and those kind of stories, so going forward, maybe a few more scary games, I think that's the thing that throughout all of this will probably be like the most like, how do you unsubscribe from this channel again? And I'm definitely going to be careful with that, don't worry, but yeah, just have a good scare every now and again. And as far as the brick film content goes, I feel like that's the more, again, it does kind of harken back to my laziness thing, but there are a lot of projects that, if I just get past that laziness thing and be diligent, there are a lot of things that I want to do. For instance, I don't know if y'all ever remembered, but remember when I tried to, I'll just roll the clip.
Now, to enjoy my reward, I think I left it over here. Ha! There you are. That was good. Hey, Hayden, we're starting Ultimate Frisbee. Dibs on being team captain.
Okay, so you and me are team captains.
It seems reasonable enough.
Y'all remember that little something? Let's just say I've been in the works of trying to build up to a literal series with that. And though it wasn't intended to be, I accidentally started another series with the last brick film that I posted. Like, I didn't even know what I was gonna do with this thing. I had no idea what the title was gonna be. And fun fact, if you've seen the video, it actually wasn't supposed to be a two-parter. It was supposed to be a single thing, but since I had to split in 2 parts, I'm just like, I don't know why my brain did. I just started a whole new series, The Alex Adventures. And probably the biggest example of something that I've wanted to do for a while with the AOV that I haven't. Does anybody remember the Batman 2? Y'all remember that little announcement? By the way, I feel like I should probably quickly address that. I am very sorry that I put that out so long ago, that trailer, and y'all saw it, it'll get hyped. And for those of you who are excited, ready for it, I'm very sorry that never happened. Classic big corporation move. I saw the success of the first one, immediately decided to do a sequel. I had an idea ready to go, and I got lazy with it, and it never happened. And I'm very sorry. That was 2020. I have had this laziness issue for Okay, wow. Okay, yeah, this has been going on longer than I thought. But while I will say it's obviously not gonna be too soon, as this is a bigger project that I definitely want to take my time with, I will promise you this. I will do the Batman 2 in the near future. It won't be the same story as I had originally, but honestly, I think this is a better, just as good, if not better, story. The other one, if I wanted to redo it, I definitely could still use it, but this one I'm very excited about, and I want to do that. But I want to be able to do those sort of things. Now, those are just some of the things that I've been wanting to do for a while that, Lord willing, I will get to. But those are just the kind of things that I want to do. And, obviously, I'm going to plan things out and, actually try to get to where I am, going to be able to do every single one of those things. But I think first and foremost, we need to just that's what we want to do. We have that goal in mind. So let's just hold everything. We're going to bring it all back, baby. We're going to bring it all home. We need to figure out how the heck we're going to get there. So for the time being, I think the best thing to do is just pull ourselves back, get ourselves back to square one, take some time, reevaluate some stuff, get some information set, and have our roadmap planned out, what we're going to do, how we're going to operate this channel, and then just do it. How we're going to do it, what we're going to do, we're going to do it. So probably the biggest thing we need to start with is what kind of, I guess that is where we have to start, but I guess it's also where we have to end. What kind of content do we want to make? We got that locked. We got those sort of things. We know what we want to do. Now, when are we going to do them? So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of use this also as a way to explain to you guys, this is my plan going forward, when you can expect new content. So going forward, the plan is from now on, every Monday, I'm going to try for this. Every Monday and Saturday are going to be a straight gameplay, fun gaming video. In terms of bringing back the Wacky Fun Wednesday stuff, I feel like for two reasons, that's not going to happen until November at the earliest, honestly. Would I like to bring it back as soon as possible? Yes, I would. Am I going to? I don't think that's very wise for where we're at. I'm going to tell you that in a little bit. But that said, Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, I'm going to try to have a new Wacky Fun Wednesday video, hopefully starting November. October's going to be a little bit different, though. You'll see why, as I'm actually going to give you guys a little look into what kind of projects you can expect in the coming days for October. Going forward, yeah, we'll bring that back, hopefully. And as much as I'd like to say every other week, right now, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try my best not to turn this into an excuse to be lazy again. But legitimately, even if I'm not, which I'm trying to make myself the best I can not do that, even if that's not the case, I would love to say every other week we have a new brick film. I don't think that's going to happen. But I will say, I'm going to try my hardest. Set it right here and now. Every month, at least one every month. One every month. Not two, one. Now we're down to 0. Oh my goodness, I already failed. But in all seriousness, no, one every month. I'm gonna shoot for that. And a new brick film every month for the AOV. I know this video is mostly, obviously it's gonna be posted on the gaming channel, so it's mostly about the gaming channel, but everything applies as well to AOV Studios. So I am going to be making announcement after, heads up kind of posts, just like letting everyone over there know that this video is out, so they know what direction we're heading in as well. I kind of, actually, my brain just kind of tried to explain how, and I, try to share the, how we have 2 channels, so kind of just, sharing, the spotlight here. But it's actually kind of a nice little segue into the last thing I completely forgot I wanted to mention. One more thing I want to do going forward, and I probably got so sidetracked. I do that if I ramble too much, but as long as we're here, we're going to talk about it. Going forward, I do want to try to include you guys a little more, the audience, because obviously you're the ones watching, and without your guys' support, obviously it's by the grace and the will of God that these channels have grown the way they have, and gone as long as they have, and just everything that's come from it from him. I'm super grateful, obviously him first and foremost, and also for how he has built these communities. But also, without those communities, without you, the viewers, actually watching and engaging with and enjoying these videos, yeah, if no one watches these sort of things, then it doesn't matter. I can do so many of these videos, and if no one sees them, no one likes them, you know, shows them, gives the watch hours, or the comments, no one watches, then I might as well just not even bother and just be off doing something else, which on the one hand, like, yeah, I mean, I could totally do something else with my life. It would not be the end of the world if these channels, you know, just stopped. But on the other hand, I don't want to do anything else. I've enjoyed doing this, and I've loved doing this for so long. You know, I would be very sad if that was the outcome. So without you guys, you know, the communities, you know, the AOV Studios community, the Awesome Dog community, Awesome Dog Squad, we'll find a good name for the AOV community. Is Brickheads already taken? I mean, I know obviously it's like a Lego theme, but like, you know, like Brickheads, is that taken? Could we be the Brickheads? I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know if somebody's already used that. So I'd hate to take anyone's thing, but if not, we'll just call ourselves Brickheads. But anyway, so I want to try to include you guys more, and obviously I've tried a few different things to, you know, include you guys. I've tried a few community posts, you know, and I know this is kind of a good thing to do in videos, like audience engagement, you know, like a call to action, you know, comment down below this or whatever. But, you know, going forward, you know, presenting a few more ideas or different ways that we could kind of have a back and forth, reach out to the community, see what you guys think. Maybe include you guys in something, you know, asking for suggestions for something, or just including you guys more. Maybe more community posts, you know, or I don't know, man. Well, I got some ideas. I won't say them all right now for time's sake, but I want to include you guys more. I feel like I had one more thing I wanted to say after that. Oh, goodness. What is it? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Papers, help me, please. They haven't helped me, other than maybe show me one little paragraph that I do not want to go without because it's so dang good. So maybe I'll just do that paragraph. Who cares? I don't care. I'll do that paragraph. And it's going to be so cheesy. And I know I've said this quite a few times, and I don't care if this time I'm really going to emphasize it. I don't care if I sound like I'm from some cheesy Fast and the Furious movie, okay? But we are family. It's all about family, Tom. Which, interesting question, what movie am I quoting? I mean, it's from Sonic the Hedgehog, when Sonic says that to Tom. But he's referencing Fast and the Furious, just using Tom's name. Inadvertently referencing Fast and the Furious. So am I referencing Sonic? I just told Oh my gosh! You know, I probably should have tried to memorize that paragraph in like 3 minutes, because I completely, oh my gosh, I totally quoted that mini update video. Oh my gosh, I completely took that where it wasn't supposed to go. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, you guys get the fleeting picture. I don't care. We're a family, all right? All of us are a big old family, and I want that to feel like that, all right? So y'all get the fleeting gist of it, okay? It's like every time I just think back to it and think about it, it's just like, oh my gosh. Oh man, you know, you papers probably don't have anything else that I want to say. Oh, there's another side to you. Okay, no, I think I basically covered it. Oh, I remember what I was talking about. Yeah, baby, let's go. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I totally expected my throat to be so much more completely destroyed from those last few minutes. Just a little, you know, little mucus, and that's it. But I just remembered, thank the Lord, what I wanted to say. One more way I'm gonna try to engage with you guys, and I'm actually kind of a little. Oh, it's still going. We have the storage. That's the one thing. Like the last time, it was like, is my phone gonna be able to hold all this video? I don't know if I have enough storage. We're still going, so I think I have enough time to share this. I'm gonna try to share it real quick though. So I know I've mentioned it once or twice here. I think mostly in community tabs, or community posts. Tab is basically the actual community tab. But I have recently actually started both an Instagram page for the gaming channel as well as the AOV channel. So I'm gonna put links down there if y'all want to go check it out and go follow them. For the gaming channel, I've actually been posting a lot on that gaming channel. I've been posting obviously things about the channel, but sometimes I even post some of my little art, up there. So if you guys are interested in that, we put that up sometimes. And sometimes I just put out like random little reels or just like slices of life, kind of jokes. And yeah, I'm gonna force y'all into some reading time. Most of those things, you gotta get the good stuff from the captions. Make sure to read the captions. Get that wheel turning in your brain, get that reading. It's a good thing. Read your Bible. Make sure to read. Yeah, I want to say that I also want to try to do some more polls up there as well. Get the community tab and then also the Instagram, but how do you balance those numbers on both ends? I'm gonna have to figure that out. So I don't know. I don't think we're gonna worry about that for now. But I'll probably just keep polls to the actual channel pages. But putting some stuff up there, and just share some stuff. Maybe that's where some of the behind the scenes stuff for the series will come from. You never know. But yeah, and also, yep, I feel like as long as I'm talking about it, here might be the best place to announce it. I've tried it in the past. It ended up just being a friend of the server, but I have officially begun an Awesome Dog 3.0 Discord server. There is going to be where I'm thinking a good chunk of stuff for updates, those kind of things, back and forth engagement. All sorts of little stuff is going to be happening. But if you want to join the server, the link is in the channel description. However, I will have to say, just so we're clear, I know this probably is like the, oh yeah, we're gonna have so much fun, and then you get this part and you're like, oh man, all this, and you're gonna see it when you get into Discord. But I'm just saying this just for safety's sake. Honestly, I just feel like telling you guys probably a more effective way. Please read and follow the rules of the server. Those rules are there to keep us safe. They're there to make sure everyone has a good time and is safe. Most of them are probably some of the big things no super dangerous content, no swearing, and obviously the Discord community guidelines, don't give off your personal information or whatever. If you'll read them, you'll know, but I just feel like just mention it here. Please read and follow the rules if you're planning on getting in the Discord server. And if we just follow, those rules are there just to keep everyone safe and all that. If we just follow the rules and be nice to one another. That's another one. Just be considerate and kind to one another. Then we'll be fine, honestly. And I'm still obviously, really. There's still a few things we got to tweak, but I feel like for the most part, the major structure of it is there. So if you want to go join that, there's a link in the description, or not the video's description. Don't think that. I'm used to saying that. So going to the channel's About Me section, that's where you got to go. And I technically do, but it kind of followed the same path as the original Awesome Dog server. I have one for AOV, but there's no official AOV server, although maybe in the future there will be, but there's not one for the gaming, the AOV channel yet, but maybe one day. But there are Instagram pages for both channels, so you also want to check those out. Links are in the description for this video. You can check those out there and in the About Me sections of the channels. All that said, though, I feel like we finally got all that needed to be said out of the way, and I feel good. I feel like with this new direction that we're taking things, getting things structured, getting all this heavy stuff out of the way, sharing all that stuff, I feel like the channels are finally going into a direction of more organization, more growth, and finally getting all this out just kind of makes me feel so much better, especially since I decided this time. I got the basic gist down, especially that intro, but these pages flush those hours of my life. Well, I mean, probably not really, because they were still super helpful, but I'm so glad I didn't stick with reading those. I had to delete them for storage space, but you saw that original video of me. I'm on that, I will show it in a minute, but I'm on that little pulpit over there, little stand, and I'm reading through I was a mess. This is a lot better. But after saying all that, I feel good about where we're at. I feel good of where I'm heading, just personally. And obviously, man plans, but God makes the ultimate. It's his plan. Obviously, yeah, you don't just sit around and just be like, obviously you got to get up and do stuff with your life, but ultimately man makes plans, but it's God's decision, and His will. So whatever He has planned going forward, we'll go with it. And you know, everything that happens, you know, it's His will. So it's His ultimate plan. We'll just go with it. But I feel like, you know, just kind of having this basic plan, I feel like this is just a good direction to shoot for, honestly. No matter what happens, you know, whatever God's plan is, I feel like we'll be all right. We'll just trust Him. But you know, it's good to have like these kind of like obvious, like, okay, so this is what, like, obviously we need to do this. Like, I need to get over my laziness. I need to keep myself from being obsessed with these things and put them before Christ. You know, we need to have a little organization in these channels. And, you know, it's good to have these ideas, but like ultimately we're just gonna go with it. But I do feel like this was a big relief, and I'm also hoping it's a big relief when I go to check if we're still going and not out of space. Because that happened the last time, and like it's not fun when that happens. I don't feel like I'll be angry, but it's just not fun. But all that said, I feel like we're in a good spot, and I don't know if I want to say this for like the end of this video, because this isn't the end of the video. Like I said, I got more coming, but I don't know if you know what? Pray without ceasing. So why don't we yeah, I know. I just realized like I just got like this hole. Please crop that out. Please crop that out. Please crop that out. Yeah, haircut. But let's go ahead and pray. Father, thank you for this opportunity to take care of all this, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for 3 wonderful years. I pray, if you're willing, may 3 more be, and you know, be on the horizon. Many more past 3, if you're willing. And Lord, thank you for showing the direction we need to go in. You know, showing the areas where I need to, you know, come back to you. And Father, I thank you for showing me and revealing me those areas where I've faltered and I have stumbled and rebelled. I pray, Father, help me to be diligent. Help me not to fall back into laziness, and help me not to put anything before you. May these channels be just that, just channels, just work, just fun, but you know, and hard work, but help me not to put them before you. Thank you for showing this direction, though, Lord. We know it's your ultimate will. Show what you have for us, and pray, Lord, if you're willing, may, you know, this structure be the solid structure needed, founded in you, and ultimately all things being done for your glory. But Lord, no matter what happens, may you lead us and these channels and me, no matter what your plan be. Help us to trust you, show us what needs to be done, and to do it as Christ for your glory. Thank you for allowing all this to be dealt with. Lord, I pray, if you're willing, may the camera still be rolling, and if not, help me to respond rightly. And may the rest of our time in this video be blessed and pleasing and honoring to you through you. We love you, Lord, and thank you. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna check. I'm actually kind of nervous now. I want to. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah! It's still rolling. We didn't lose storage. Thank you, Lord. That was like the biggest thing I was like worried about, because it happened with the other one. I'm also enjoying myself. What I think I need to make this approach my normal. Sit on a tiny little. This is like the tiniest couch I've ever seen in my life. Sit on a couch and just talk with you guys instead of standing up there like I'm some sort of preacher. Like, look at this. Look at this. I was literally like, I was reading all my pages off that little pulpit. I'm like, I'm not one of those guys. But now that we got all that out of the way, let's throw things over to some more fun, you know, kind of lighter stuff. You know, just talking about like some things coming up on the channel. I need my hat. I don't need my hat, honestly, but I like having my hat. And if I can, I'm gonna have it. But now let's talk about some fun stuff coming up for the channel, and just kind of give you guys a little update. Because in case you haven't noticed, I'm not exactly filming in my room. This is a completely different place. Part of the new location we're living in, which I will gladly show as much as I can you guys this facility. Which one is it? Vicinity or facility? Considering the fact that I know facility is an actual location, I have no idea what a vicinity is, other than maybe just like a basic location. Let me know in the comments if I'm right about that, and if not, feel free to slam me and tell me what I did wrong. But just kind of showing you around, and then getting to the
I'm gonna keep that silent. But let's just say we're actually going to be talking about what this was originally supposed to be talking about. So, all right.